morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us again for what is going to be another amazing episode of the All My Data Show. Good morning, Toronto. Good morning, Ward. And for this morning, I'm going to say good morning to all my beautiful people in Morocco because my guests are from Morocco this morning. Thank you for making me the part of your start of your weekend. I hope you have your cup of coffee and your tea ready. Let's do this. Good morning, everybody. So we we are starting the show this morning. Last 2 weeks ago, I told you guys that I was going to be introducing you to my family. So first of all, to start my morning, to start the show today, I'm going to be introducing you to one amazing woman that is behind me, that make me who I am today, that pushes me every day. The show is all about family, I told you guys. So here, let me show you what I'm talking about.
Well, I just want to say I'm not surprised. When my younger sister said to me, "Oh, you know what? I want to, pursue my dream now. I want to pursue my dream. I want to, start my own, have my own show and be able to do this and do that." So it just, I just remember being her manager back in Nigeria. She had she was an artist. She had a song out. She did her photo shoots. Then she had this motherless home she used to go, support. So it's always being about, being there for people, trying to help people, trying to make a difference. So you know what? I'm not surprised, being your manager before. So you know what? If you're still looking for a manager, I'm right here. So big up to you. I'm happy for you. I am, trust me, I'm excited for you. I know this is God, just leading you, So, the best is yet to come. Like I said, you know what? I love you, I got love for you. Well, tune in on my Dede show. Tune in November 6th, 2020. Thank you.
Welcome back to the On My Data Show. I hope now you know where I'm coming from. Now you know why I am who I am. I love you, sister. Thank you. I didn't really force them to do that. She just did it voluntarily. Like I said, I hope you guys have your cup of coffee ready because we have some juicy money to go. I have a juicy topic on my social talk this morning. We have a packed show for you. So let's get to what we call the social talk. This morning, let me drink a cup of coffee first. I know you guys have been seeing a video that went viral yesterday. A popular known artist from Nigeria, Nice. I still love his song. I love his song. He has one of the biggest hits in Nigeria. I still love to rock to the song Kunga. He got married last year, a extravagant marriage that he did. I know why people are upset about that video because he wasn't with his wife. But I have a question for my viewers this morning. What is society? What is marriage to society these days? What is the base of society of marriage now? Because so many of you have so many really vile comments to say about him, about the video he did with a girl. I can't even show the video. That's how crazy the video is. If you haven't seen the video, you can go to www.gbkm Tv. It's going to be on Monday show. You can watch the video there. So, why is the video going viral? Because he wasn't with his wife. He was with another woman. That is what the whole gossip is all about this morning. But at the end of the day, I say to anybody that has a problem with the video is he hasn't made his intention hidden. In 2016, Nice was quoted saying that he supports polygamy. He has said this repeatedly that he is God to women. So why I believe that any woman that is with Nice understand who he is. He told you, he already said it. So as for me, my own take in the whole conversation about marriage, about him being faithful, the people that know Nice, you already sent me messages and say he has never been loyal, he has never been faithful. But as for me, I'm still call me old fashioned girl. I take that. I still believe a man and a woman, one man, one woman. That's my belief. I still believe the sanctity of marriage, that we have to keep marriage, you know, still what we as generation wants to do. It's not just for fashion anymore. We should keep marriage between married couples, not another side chick. Okay, so moving on from nice, I told you guys that I have an amazing show this morning, that we have a packed show for you this morning, and it is my honor to be introducing you guys to my guest all the way from Morocco. Before I show my guest, I just have one thing to say to you guys. There is my guests, I told you I was going to be your connect to Africa. This is my connection to Africa that I'm giving you this morning, Toronto. So let me introduce you to my guest who have created a one of a kind, unique equipment, a musical instrument that everybody is going to be talking about in the next 2, 3, 4 decades to come. There have never been any instrument like this that have ever been made in Africa. It's made in Africa by Africans. That is the uniqueness of this instrument. So, my ladies and gentlemen, my wonderful viewers, let me introduce you to my amazing guest all the way from Morocco, my queen and my princesses this morning. Good morning, guys.
Morning. Good morning.
How is everybody doing this morning?
Good. Fine. But
You
actually,
guys
this is the afternoon in Morocco.
It's afternoon in Morocco. You guys look fantastic. You guys look amazing. This is the beauty of Africa.
Thank you.
This is the beauty of Africa. First, I just have a question for you. I will throw this question to the prince. How did you guys come about this group? How did you guys come all together?
Well, thank you for that, but it's a very long story. Actually, it started with me first because, first I used to be an entertainer as an acrobatic performer in America, and I've traveled all across the world. I was the first, one of the first tumbling teacher at the same time and a performer who broke the records across the globe. I used to perform with my son, and we have won a lot of awards across the world. And after that, I resigned, and I was old, and I went back to Africa. My mission was to, actually, it's a calling, to continue the Pan-Africanism and to really protect the African values and culture. So I've traveled across, I left my country for 9 years after resigning from the red carpet, and I went to Sandy Royal Carpet of Africa to continue to spread the message of peace, inspiring women, underprivileged youth, underprivileged communities, and even victims of war, the migrants, the refugees, using the message of peace and unity, tolerance, and forgiveness, of course, inspired by Nelson Mandela, and of course, putting religions together and intervene between religious and, wars between Muslim and Christian and ethnic groups. So first I started with Princess Ajuba from Ghana, Gambia. We met 10 years ago, and from there we traveled across. We met Princess Stella, of course, from Burkina Faso. She joined, and then from there we met, of course, Princess Kairat. We joined with Princess Kairat, and we continue. And here, as you can see, this is Noglunga Buthelezi. She's from South Africa. She's one of the, you're talking to a star here, one of the champion, even now, one of the best contortionists in the whole world. Even you can check on YouTube, you can check, She's the first contortion who changed the history of contortion when it was Chinese. She's the one who changed the whole momentum, who was trained by me when she was 8 years old. And she has traveled. She was in America, red carpet. She's been with everyone. She performed for Tyrese, Wycliffe John. We met Wycliffe, Lauryn Hill, you name them. So, after that, when she retired, she came back and joined me. She didn't retire anyway. She left show business to come and join me so that she can inspire a lot of women, a lot of youth, a lot of children for the African talent. She's a member of the new members of the Messengers of Messages. So we've been traveling across Africa, everywhere. Where there's a problem, we come in, we come up with a message of tolerance, peace, and the unity of Africa. This is how we do. Our mission is to continue the vision of Kwame Nkrumah and other leaders of One Africa, Africa without borders. This is our thing, to really focus on African values and peace within Africa. I'm not talking about this violence. This violence is smaller than the humanity of Africa and African culture. This is our mission, and this is how we met.
For those for our viewers here in Canada that don't really know your names, I would just like to start from you, Prince, to introduce yourself, your name, so they can understand who they are talking to.
Right, I'm Prince Malassi from South Africa. Prince Malassi Siwa from South Africa. I'm the founder and the president of this movement called the Messengers of Messages. Of course, here, I'll let Princess Ajiba to.
Yeah, Princess.
Okay, I'm Princess Ajibanyan Bayan Sinjo from Ghana and a poet of the Messengers of Messages.
Thank you. And my next Princess?
Princess Stella Aisha Sayon from Burkina Faso. Well, I'm the vocal lead singer and the spokesperson of the Messengers of Messages.
And to your right?
I'm Princess Kayla Zato from Benin, and I'm also a poet of the Messengers of Messages.
Thank you. And
I am Nobunonga Butelezi. I'm a percussionist, also a member of the Messengers of Messages.
Thank you. And I know that you guys have a guest this morning joining you guys. I will let her just introduce herself.
Okay, I'm not a princess. So I'm Zineb Iraki, and I'm Moroccan, and I'm the head of General Secretariat of ICISCO, which is an international organization specialized in education, science, and culture based in Morocco. And this organization is actor of development, which brings together more than 50 member states based in Africa, in Middle East, and Asia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So we know in Africa, when you look at the African continent right now, people say Africa is bleeding. And you guys have a message. Your slogan is the Messengers of Message. What is behind that word, the Messengers of Message? How did you come about that word?
Well, the Messengers of Messages is not just the word that we found. Actually, this is a very spiritual name, because it was given, to me by my late grandmother. Because when I was young, I used to have this word when there's violence, like in the families. I would talk about peace. I would advise people, even during my friends, even though they were old. I was ahead of my time, and most of the time I would do certain things that are above my age, even above my expectation. And one day I kept asking my grandmother, because my grandmother, she was a sort of, you can call it the prophet, or you can call it a spiritual person who would pray for people and be able to see the future and be able to do. She was more godly than anybody else. She would just pray for people just by singing. When people come, when you sing, she'll sing for you, this gospel or any words of God, and then you'll be healed. So, and I asked her, but what is this thing about me? All the time I will, tell people, I have dreams, such dreams, and these dreams comes to pass. And sometimes I'm ahead of my time, and people first, they think I'm crazy when I see certain things, and after that they happen. And Why is always when I have something with me and I rather give it to some people, even I have clothes, they are nice, I see someone suffering and I give you that. And he said, you are a messenger. It's because you have this gift with you and that's why you're a messenger. You carry the message. You see, you have this message that you're coming here. Me, I'm a messenger to pray, but you're a messenger to unite people, to bring out solution. But I was young by then. So it just went and, I was like 10 or 11 years old and up to 15 and went out of the mind. So, but when I had the second calling after America, because I had this calling about Africa. When I was in America, I was not okay when I started seeing Africa and how the Americans think about Africa or people that Africa is just whatever. But I stood for Africa, telling them the value of Africa. And many people, afraid to show the value of Africa. And even in America, people started to call me Mandela because of the message. I used to, after our performance, we would have like the Michael Jackson's mothers coming to us. The family of the Jackson 5 used to come to us. All the celebrities, families would bring their children to learn from me, for inspiration. And when I left everything, I said, I want to return to my roots. I want to continue this Africanism because people kept asking me, telling me, you're a leader. Even the first time when I remember when I met Nelson Mandela, first time, when he came out from prison, we performed for him, me and my son. Of course, after performing, after looking at this act, he said to me, you're a great man. You have a long way to go. You will touch the world. Whatever it is, I'm wishing you the best. You are so good. You're a great person. You really touched me. And for me, it was, I was young by then, I was still into this lifestyle of the red carpet or things like that, but I didn't take it serious. It's after I realized when I started this movement and we're looking for a name. We're looking for a name. What can we do, call it? And once I was there, I don't know what it was that, and then I saw something messenger. I think it was in a paper, something written. And I started to remember that my grandmother used to tell me that I'm a messenger of messages. I carry message, and I told them, this is the name, the messengers of messages. So this is how it came out because it connected me from the back because of what I've been doing across my life. And of course, before even becoming a messenger of messages, I've been training the underprivileged youth and finding jobs overseas, to do things like that. This is the name. That was the whole thing behind the name.
We are going to come back to you training the youth, but before we go any further, we are just going to go pay some bills. When we come back, we're coming back with our amazing guests from all the way from Morocco. I told you guys a piece of instrument, one of its kind, unique instrument that was made out from recycled materials. You guys are going to see, hear about how the inspiration behind that instrument. We'll be right back.
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just there you come, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorize to keep you from evil theology. For you, the darker hue, you denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. We cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?
Welcome back to the Omadede Show on Gbkm TV. My name is Omadede, your host. Thank you for coming back with us. We still have with me this morning my amazing, beautiful royalties all the way from Morocco, and they are joining us. They are joined by a guest this morning. We get to talk to her later. Just like Canada, Canada is a unique place and multicultural community we have here. People speak French, people speak English. You still hear from them. They speak English as well in Morocco, and I know they are going to be speaking in French this morning. So to my Francophone community, You are just in the right place this morning. I told you this is the start of your your weekend. I'm the start of your weekend. So I'm going to ask Princess Stella. So you are from
Yes.
Burkina Faso.
Yes, I'm
You are
from
from
Burkina
Burkina Faso.
Faso.
So what attracted you to the Messengers of Message? What attracted you to this group?
Well, first of all, what attracted me was that ability of taking challenges, like pushing us as a leader. We are women, but pushing us as women as we are to show us that we can do what people think that only men can do. So making us to take over our greatest fears, something like you believe or you think you can't achieve. He will show you that you can do it. He will teach you that you can build great things starting from nothing. And again, the biggest thing that attracted me is that he taught me that once I put God ahead of everything I do, I will definitely succeed in. So he taught me that as a singer, as an artist, I shouldn't remain in my comfort zone. I have to learn how to run against those who are faster than me. So he taught me to work. So when I met him, I had to start from the scratch. In my country, I was known as one of the famous artists and all. But then he just showed me that I was nothing. So he taught me how to be humble, how to learn from zero in order to be a hero tomorrow. And then I started from the scratch. I started singing in a cappella. My first training started with 3 years a cappella, and also facing life, like that ability of leaving the luxury things from the royal family I was coming from, but then going to meet the real world, go down to those who are down and feel the reality of their daily lives, and then be able tomorrow to inspire the world with my story. Because the good thing about being next to our leader here is that we are writing our story. So every day is a new chapter. So that's the most amazing thing that I'm living. So it's an everyday teaching, and it's just the school of life. Yes.
Thank you so much. That's something that most of us in Canada here, we can identify with, starting from scratch, because when we come over here, you have to start from the scratch again. Thank you so much for that amazing
Thank
story.
you.
But now, the anticipated question I want to know, ask you guys, is about the instruments that you made from recycle materials. I watched the making of the instrument. I saw each and every one of you. You worked on that piece of instrument. I want to know where that inspiration come from. Trust me, guys. If you haven't seen the making of the instrument, I try to pronounce the name of the instrument. I have
Izintambo Zomoya. Izintambo Zomoya, meaning the chords of the spirit
Okay,
in the Zulu language.
I try to memorize it, pronounce it, because it was too beautiful. It took me back at the instrument. It took me back to when I was a little girl, because I was a dancer. So the sounds that were coming out of the instrument was something that I was familiar with. This is what Africa is all about, an instrument made from Africa by Africans. I want to know what the inspiration for this instrument is. What was the inspiration behind making of this instrument?
Again, going back again to God. Well, as I was telling you, that most of things that I do, they're very spiritual. I do not even know why I do things. Actually, I don't have any musical background, neither to have done any musical instrument in my life. Actually, we were here in Morocco for a project to work on the project based on the migrants and the refugees. And well, we were supposed to be going back, and coronavirus, got us here, and we find ourselves stuck here in Morocco. And when they announced the lockdown, I said to them that it's going to be difficult. It's going to be boring. We do not know how it is. We are sentenced. We are still on the trial. We might be sentenced to life here. So the best thing what we did, we went around to the carpenters, hardwares where people are selling the materials to buy this recycled material that they were not using, but selling. And it was so expensive that even if you were to go to buy some material, because they know everything was closing down and you needed that. So it cost a lot of money, but we continued to do. We bought wood and we started to sandpaper. I did not know what I was doing. First, we started thinking that we are doing a small little instrument that is more like a 1 meter, 2 meter thing. Actually, I wanted to do a keyboard. I said I wanted to do African keyboard, but this instrument say no. You're not going to copy anything from the Western. And I found myself doing certain things that I did not do. And this instrument, trust me, it filled up the same room that we are. It's produced out of the different instrument that made one. So everything that came out there, we did not know where we are going, but we found ourselves with this instrument with different types of sounds, electronic sounds, vibration, spiritual, jazz, every little thing, and it was just guided by God. And when we were, as you can see, that we were working 24 hours. We're going to sleep. Sometime I'll be sleeping on the couch there and working, and the princesses that were there working hard. We did not know. There was no plan. I don't plan things. There was no drafting. And fortunately, after the opening of the lifting of the lockdowns, it was complete. It completed at the same week. And when we sent the pictures to the television station, it was just enough. It was something. That is why this musical instrument is one of its kind in the world and the biggest in Africa, and it's historic. It's a heritage element of Africa because it was made during the hard time. And, I transform the energy of transforming bad to good. I said, it is the same. Mandela spent 27 years in prison. So we're going to spend this time to build best of tomorrow so that we can inspire people. And this is how we created this instrument. It's one of its kind. And then it was all over the news. And we were awarded for this musical instrument. Even now we have some, requests for Guinness Book of Record, of course, of one of its kind. So very soon you'll be seeing it on the Guinness Book of World Records because it's one of its kind. This is how it is. It was costly. We did not know what we were doing. And when I started, I was like making sure we're doing this. We'll find ourselves with something that touches the roof. You can actually expand it and make it touch the roof. It can do anything. It's just a robot. It's just a machine. It's a manual robot. It can do anything. I don't even know. And this was my first time in my history to do this musical instrument. I've never done any musical instrument. As you can see, it can slide, it can turn, it can tilt. It does movie effects, everything. That's what made us choose to make this. And these women are very powerful women. And, and I've proven to the world that women are strong. And I don't want women to say, I'm stronger than men. You are more powerful than men. Because men, they would have run away. But these women, they were there behind me. They were these princesses that were there and to inspire tomorrow. So this is the history of men with 4 powerful young princesses of tomorrow, the queens of tomorrow, and you are the queen of tomorrow and the princess of today. So you need to stand up and be able to do things for yourself. Don't think men leads you. You are the mothers of men. You need to lead the men. We have colonized you. So wake up and do it. This instrument is more dedicated to women, power of women.
Thank you so much. We can see the joy is one of a kind instrument that I've known is a history-making instrument that was made in Africa. I will take this question to my princess from Ghana. I know you are a poet. And when watching the making of that instrument, I saw the joy that came out from your face, that was on your face when making that instrument. What was the joy? What was the joy like making something that that was going to be groundbreaking?
Well,
First of all, it was a great joy to participate in this creation. And it taught me a lot that in hard times we have to be positive and see the light. It is to encourage each and every one of us that even this time that is so difficult, we have to come up with a positive energy and make use of every little thing within our disposal, that we shouldn't blame the situation. For in every bad there is good, and in every good there is bad.
Thank you. We're going to be moving on to a question that I always want to ask everyone, because to me, I believe that gender equality is one of the biggest human rights challenges that we have as a generation. And I'm going to ask my princess from South Africa, what do you, as a woman and as a princess and as a leader in your own right, in every way, form, or shape or form that you do, what do you see the biggest challenge as a woman? You worked on a piece of instrument that is going to be what everybody's going to be talking about in decades to come, because this is one of a kind instrument. As a woman, what do you see the biggest challenge is to women's rights today?
First of all, for me to see this instrument and to know that it was created by a woman.
I think your microphone is muted, my princess.
Close to you. I'm sorry. Yes. Hello? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can, okay. So first of all, for me to know that...
I'm sorry, we can't really hear you.
Just your voice. Sorry, can you hear me? Sorry. You can hear me?
Huh?
Because of the window?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. So for me to be, to know that there's such an instrument that is so great and it was created by women, and to know that it has made such a big impact and that it was created at a time of difficulty. It just shows how strong women can be, and that the strongest you will ever be able to see a woman is when she is at her most difficult times. And it shows men what they can learn from women. And it just shows people in general that you do not have to judge a book by its cover, because in most cases, when people look at women, they see sensitivity, something that is fragile, something that is incapable of creating something great, like greatness. It just shows how powerful women can be, and it gives me so much pride to even know that it wasn't just any kind of woman, it was African women, it was Africa. And it also shows that not all men in this world are bad, because a man was there to be there to show these women the inner strength within them. It also shows that as a man, you should also be there to encourage the women, not to bring down women. So for us to have this prince, this messenger, this greatness of a man to show us that, as a woman, you are strong and there's a lot you can show in this world. It brings such pride.
Thank you so much. Yes, as a woman and as an African woman, seeing you guys work on that instrument, it was a pride to me. I was inspired more to see how dedicated, when you guys were working on the instrument, there was this sense of pride. There was this sense of great joy on your faces. So it gave me a lot of inspiration this morning to come out to say thank you guys so much for joining me once again. And I just have a question for my princess there. Where do you learn how to play this instrument? Have you guys learned how to play this? Because I know you have different various of sounds coming out of it. Have you guys learned how to perfect playing this instrument?
Yes. You're speaking in English or in French?
Yeah, you can speak in French. It's a multicultural community we have here. They will understand you.
English? Okay, in English.
Thank you. This instrument, we don't.
Just asking if you have learned. Est-ce que tu apprends à jouer à l'instrument?
You can speak in French. You can speak in French.
No, there's no. Okay, this instrument, they teach us how to play them. You don't need to learn how to play that. They teach us how to play them. So you just start to play, and it's natural. It comes like that.
Thank you so much. And I know you guys talked about you mentioned about working with the refugee. And when it comes to African refugee, between African continent is the highest refugees come out go to other African country. And I know that the messengers of message, you guys have been able to work with a lot of refugee. What has it been? What has the experience been for you working with these young men and women? My prince, I'm going to ask you.
All right. First of all, I have something in me all the time that God gave me. And this is the knowledge. When I see a problem, I do not allow my emotion to take me. I always look for a solution, and I look at the cause that caused the causer to cause the problem. And most of the time what I do, I look at the answers, of course, because the problem is already there. So, and I realize that, it's, you have migrants and you have refugees. Most of them is because of war, violence, and all these kind of conflicts that are happening in Africa. And because some people want to have a good life, and they don't find that because there's this conflict, and they start to go out to look for something. And the worst part that make me sad is that, for example, if you are in Swaziland, or let's take up like this, if Nigeria has a problem and the refugees, they wouldn't like to go to Ghana or neither Benin, they will try to run to Europe. That's the thing that I know. And all the time I tell you, look, in Africa we say, if your father has a problem, you don't run to other village. You go to your next, if you have a problem in the family, you run to the next, your next or your relative for your family, and then they will be able to deal with that. Most of the problem shouldn't be solved out. And I realize that it is more because they want this democracy, and they found that when they go to the other country, it's still the same problem, the same father they run away from, the same leader they run away, they find him there, and he become 10 times more worse than that because we did not accommodate each other. Same like in my country, South Africa, where they kill the refugees and the migrants. You see, this is caused by the unity. But if we had this unity to be able to welcome the refugees and our brothers and say, look, man, I have this bed. You can stay, you can take this bed. Let's share this idea because tomorrow it might happen to me. And be able to take care of each other and treat each other as human beings and as one people that are really affected by this problem that we have. That would have been better. But that is why you find a lot of them, they're running to Europe because they find it more, there's more human rights and people can listen to them, which is, it's one of the greatest pain that I've found. So, but in a lot of times, and we have the migrants, of course, those who just leave the country because of the economical crisis, they want to look for a better life because, you see, you will blame them. I will blame them, but I listen to them. This generation, they are not lost. And we parents say, these kids are lost. They do not know what to do. But listen, these kids, they come to you as a president. They come to you as a minister. I have this project. I have this project. What they do when you go to the Minister of Art and Culture.
I think we lost our guest for a minute, but we were going to go on a quick short break, and when we come back, we'll fix the problem.
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just stay calm, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorize to keep you from evil theology. For you, the dark of you, denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. You cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alarmed. Just stay calm, cause even if you choose.
Welcome back to the Omadede Show, and we're talking to our royalties all the way from Morocco, and I think we lost them a bit there, but since we are we are almost 6 months to this COVID. I don't know, my PM in my in Milton, Adam has sent a challenge out to every Milton resident to download the COVID alert app. I don't know. I have my wonderful producer Mr. Kenny Bazwaye, but he's camera shy. He doesn't like the camera, so I don't know if he has downloaded the app already, because I have downloaded the app. I'm not that I'm
let me quickly say this. Thank you for having me, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know about downloading the app first. I usually like to be one of those that do it last. So I want to let anybody try it first, and let's see the impartation and the mode and style of implementation. Then I can follow suit. But also there are a lot of stories too.
I have the app. I downloaded the app because the MP in my town, Milton. Shout out to all my Milton residents. We are all in the game already. So we are downloading the app. If you haven't downloaded the app today, go download the app. Go to wherever you have your app store from, download the app. It will save life. It will help
But how
you.
is it in Minton? Are you guys follow the same rules like Toronto? Are you guys locked down? Phase 2? What is it in Minton?
That's why you need to download the app. It shows you where your province is on the stage. If your province is on the red zone, you know where your province is. So that's why I downloaded the app. But I am holding the app. I'm still waiting for something to happen. No, I haven't gotten any alert yet. But I think that means that we are safe in Milton.
Well, this is just to spice it up a little bit.
So
I prefer to have a bank alert.
He preferred to have the bank alert, but anyway, I know that's what he prefers. We are back with our amazing guests, but we are almost out of time, but we still have one more question before we let our guests go. I know they have I know you guys, thank you so much for coming back. I know technology can be crazy sometimes.
Yes.
This is just an example of it. This is just an example of it, that technology can just, be crazy. I know you guys have a guest joining you guys this morning, and you are an educator. When we come to Africa, talking about Africa, educating young Africans is a priority to this generation. How is your organization going about educating the young Africans?
Okay. Thank you for this important question. Right to education is one of the most important rights, and every children in the world, and especially in Africa, needs to have this inclusive education, this quality education, and this learning, lifelong learning. From our perspective, we are working with member states. We are supporting ministers and actors, public actors, and different stakeholders to just to support and to capacity building. We have a lot of programs in capacity building, for example, in Sahel, to education of peace and citizenship. We have many regional centers in Africa, 5 regional centers, and Maybe the biggest one is in Yamoussoukro, and it's specialized on capacity building in values of peace, of solidarity, of social cohesion. And we are trying to strengthen capacity of youth to make them future actors for their countries and their continents. We are also working with women because they are suffering from discrimination because of inequalities between little boys and little girls, for example. And we are trying to also work with imams because they are influenced, because all these religious leaders are very important in this community. So that we are trying to work in different level. We are working with states, with ministers, but also with communities, because we thought that communities is very important, and we will always have more impact if we can build things with people from the basis. We are also working with journalists and with media because they have an important role against factist stereotypes against, for example, Islam and violence and extremism. And we need really to support and form and educate those people to how to use media and technology to fight against fake news and about a lot of false concepts that unfortunately are it's a real danger for the peace and for security for Sahel and a lot of countries. This is one of the most examples that we are working on it. But we are also having a lot of important programs, especially in Africa, humanitarian programs with our partners, and also educational programs, for example, for specific questions like, mariage précoce,
child marriage.
Yes, for example, from excision, for example, which is a practice.
Mutilation.
Yes, female mutilation. So we are trying to fight against those practices and help people to well-being and to be actors, to co-construct and to co-build a future which is based on inclusion, on resilience, on sustainability, and happiness, because happiness is important.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know that education play a part in fighting FGM, and thank you for all you do for this young generation. Before I let you guys go, I have a question for the Prince. You as a South African Prince, and I know about last year, Nigerians in South Africa were facing a lot of brutality in South Africa. What do you see as the biggest challenge to heal the wounds that we see ourselves as one Africa, not just South Africa, not just Nigeria?
Yes, actually, I think I'm one person that since the beginning of the xenophobia attacks in South Africa, I've been going around Africa campaigning against xenophobia. And I'm the one, even I remember during this, we had, during my awards, presidential awards in Sierra Leone, where I campaigned and say sorry to nation. I've been doing that before even the president of South Africa could have done that. I'm going to tell, when people tell me about xenophobia in South Africa, even my president, my governments, they cannot tell you. We have to understand the cause that caused South Africans to be xenophobic. Let me explain it. I've been explaining to the people, even telling my people, apartheid has done a lot of damage. I'm very lucky. Even some people who are educated, even some people who are into high position, they did not know this. During the apartheid, xenophobia didn't start because of South African hating some brothers from outside. This is the statement, which I want you to understand clearly. During apartheid, we were closed, we were in prison. As much as Mandela was in prison, South African Black community were not allowed it to travel outside South Africa because if you travel to Mozambique, they say you are going to train to be ANC or to be a terrorist. So we were locked in. And in South Africa, we were taught that we are more superior than the people outside because they are uncivilized, they have disease, they are corrupt, all these kind of things. And South Africa, what happened with it to unite? And most of the time we had this silent tribal hates. So for example, if you are a Zulu, you see yourself superior than the Shangani tribe. The Sangani tribe will give that. This is how they separated us. It started a long time. So the people that were living like in the township, they will feel them to be more superior and more educated and civilized than the one from the village. So there was this kind of a hate in between. So, and you must understand in South Africa, there was this time that when you had to be, for example, if you live in if you live in Lagos, if you have to go to Benin State, you have to get a permit. So us from the township in the village, we needed a visa, what we call it permit, which means permit. So we had this segregation between ourselves. Even me to come and spend the night in your place, I must go to the police station to have that. So the segregation was there before. And then what happened is when the new government took over, they did not really clear up these minds from us. You know, they just left us like that. When the brothers came in, we didn't have a problem. Then, you know, when we took over from the white people, when we had a struggle, we had this fantasy, we had this imagination that we will be in this big suburb, I'll be living in the city, I'll be living in this skyscraper, but we did not know that it was a fantasy. We were not taught, no, you have to work hard to have it. So when we took over, we never taught our children to work hard. We said, you must go to school in order for you to work smart and not hard. Don't be like these people. When you people came to South Africa first, you were shoemakers, dressmakers, you know, working with your hands and all, as you know, business sellers knocking from door to door. And we told our children, said, no, you must go to school. We don't want you to be like these foreigners. You see, you must work better. You know, they are here to look for something. So we didn't have a problem at the time because our aim, it was to go up. Then when times goes by, we realized our imagination was fake, was more of fantasy, was not realistic because we did not know how to take care of ourselves. Remember, South Africans, they were not business-minded people. We were not even given license to make business. We did not know business. The only business you find in South Africa is to have your rooms outside and rent them out, or you have your tavern, what we call it, a pub for beer, or taxi. There's three businesses that South Africans knew. We did not know even anything about you. You, as a black man, is to become the CEO. So when everything came out, we left these things. Now, when the brothers came into South Africa, they started their business from down. We supported them. We bought from them. You know, it was just like that. And we were not thinking about this small little business that will make them. We're thinking about being in those suburbs with the imagination. When we met the reality, it was too late. And our children find themselves, South Africa finds itself with the lockdown when it comes to work. We are overflooded. People were not taught how to become entrepreneurs. They were not taught to be job creators. Were designed to be job seekers. See? So South African black people are known to be job seekers. So, and that's when you people came in, you came out with the skills. And you were there struggling and you find this opportunity. And South Africa, they had a lot of opportunity for black people, but black people did not see the opportunity because the blanket of apartheid was there. You were advanced of us because we were so much independent. Even today, South Africans are not independent. Remember that South Africa is advanced, it's developed, but people are not developed. So we are not developed. When I went to South Africa, of course, geographically and infrastructural development, South Africa is ahead. But when it comes to man-to-man functions, you people are ahead. When it comes to businesses, you know, you own your own houses. We have loans. You know, we own the small little 4 rooms. So this is the thing now. When you find out this man yet tomorrow, he came here with a small little tomatoes. Today he has a big supermarket. Then you don't have a job. Now you look at him, he's coming to take my business, he's coming to take my job. You know, then he become this inner tangle with jealousy. And this is when it started to have a hate and it started to feel like they are taking our job. These people are criminals. We had, you know, I'm not a South African. I'm South African by birth. I'm an African by nature, and I'm universal by God's creation. So I don't see South Africa in anything. Me, I wanted to be free. I wanted to see Africa. So this is the thing that causes the South Africans to react that way. It's the frustration. They had hope. They had faith. Now they find themselves with true reality, face this big wall. And what they've ignored as a trash, someone picked it and cleaned it and made it a treasure, then they have to react. When they were criminals before, we were criminals, I gotta tell it like it is. We had crimes when other people, when they joined with other criminals from outside, when they beat them in their games because they taught them the game, then we start to blame them. This is wrong. It's all the mindsets of apartheid. That is why I'm going back home. When I took this 9 years in Africa, I left South Africa for the past 9 years without going home to learn other people's culture, how they live, so that I can be able to re-educate my people and reintegrate South Africans with the other, our foreign, not even our brothers, you know, and be able to understand each other right. Because South Africa hasn't created what you call integration programs. We should have started with the integration programs and the value of the others. So that's the problem. But sometimes the problem, it gives birth to a solution. So where there's a problem, there must be a solution. And I believe, I know I have to go back and fix up this thing because I have the knowledge on how other Africans live, how their life is. I understand the weakness of my people, and I understand the weakness of the other people. And I was talking to the other foreign nation. I said, you know what? When you make it in South Africa, what you need to do, you need some time to plow back, hire them, share skills with them, teach them certain things like how I've been doing across. Once you teach them, they see that you're making something, you employ them, you take them, invite them to your country. South Africans, they don't travel. Black South Africans don't travel. Only 3% of South Africans. They don't travel. They do not even know their neighboring countries. So there's a lot of things. Don't look at this name called South Africa. Look at this word, Black South Africans. So we are still backwards. We just have this ghetto culture. We don't have a universal culture. We don't have a continental culture. So this is the thing that causes xenophobia. It is so wrong, but that is why I'm going across Africa to teach my people, say, we just forgive them. This is the knowledge that they do not have, and we need to work the program to reintegrate and teach them. For me, they're still victims. They are doing wrong because it's like hitting a man in the mirror, thinking you are hitting the man in the mirror, and while you are hitting yourself. Because there is no black foreigner in Africa. There is no black foreigner in Africa. We are all people, and Africa is not about black. It's about everything from the roots of Egypt, from the Amazigh, from the Nubians, from the Bantus. So the culture of Africa is needed, and South Africa needs to learn the African history, and then we'll be able to live together. They do not know it.
Thank you so much for that. I couldn't have said it better. We couldn't have said it better. And I'm going to borrow from your word to say we are all Africans. There is no South Africa. There is no Nigeria. There is no Zimbabwe. We are all Africans. I'm going to let
and
my
also
princess...
with Morocco, we are all Africans.
We are all in Morocco. We are all Africans. Yes,
and
in
please
Morocco.
allow me just to invite you, and to invite the auditors to follow us, our live, because we are organizing on Monday the ICISCO Africa Day, and we are celebrating diversity and peace and development. And we are also, because the month has made a remake or recovery of a very well-known song and patriotic song, which is Nida Sawt al-Hassan, which is a song of peace, and they have made a sort of recovery, and they will receive a trophy in this occasion on Monday, and we will also have a lot of workshop and arts exposition for diversity and dialogue, and I hope that you will follow us and support us, and thank you.
Absolutely. Anything Africa, I am all for it because I am an African girl. When it's Africa, I am all for it. So I will definitely be tuning in. I will definitely be supporting and promoting that the program on Monday. But I'm going to let my Princess Stella round up, close me off because I love the song that you did for women empowerment. I don't know if you can do a little a cappella for us because I love music. I love music.
Thank you. And the poem was made by our poet, Mrs.
Yes.
Adjuvanyani Bayansunjo. So yes, it's a pleasure.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys sign me up with your amazing music this morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I have a blast this morning. You always have to start your weekend with the All Monday Day show on Gbkm TV. So if you missed any show, you can always go back to www.gbkm.tv and click on past shows, and you will see right there on Monday Day show. Thank you, and I will let my princess sign me off with the amazing, beautiful, powerful music of women empowerment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Simple.
Okay. If being a woman is a sin, if being a woman is a sin, please God forgive us, because all what we need is to be loved and respected. We carry life for 9 months. Si être une femme est un péché, si être une femme est un péché, oh mon Dieu, pardonne-nous, car tout ce dont on a besoin, c'est d'être aimé et respecté. Nous portons la vie pendant 9 mois.
Wow.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once again, I just want to thank my amazing royalties joining me all the way from Morocco, Africa. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to the Monday event. I'm going to be tuning in and be following you guys and be promoting it. Thank you for joining us. So all our amazing families and viewers who are watching or who are joining us this morning. This is the Omo Show on www.gbkm.tv. See you next week, same time. Friday, 10:30. It is a date. Always make it a date and always have your morning coffee. Good morning, everybody.